We're joined today by Joe Vaclavic with Standard Grain. Joe, as we start to, gear up for 2022, it's kind of weird to say that. How do you think next year will be different than what we experienced in 21?
It's totally different if you're a farmer, mainly because of the drastic surge in input prices. So, in 2021, $5, $5.50 corn was a phenomenal price that was associated with a phenomenal level of profitability to the likes of levels that some people have never seen before. 2022 is going to be drastically different. $5 corn is not going to be nearly as good in 2022 as it was in 2021. So I think the fact that you're seeing inflation and these supply chain and bottlenecks and all those issues affect input prices is going to be the biggest difference. It's not like the board price or the cash prices necessarily in corn, soybeans, or wheat need to be drastically different when you look out into the futures market. At least it's that the cost of production versus those prices, it's just a drastically different situation, much tighter margins and not as much room in the budget in 2022. That's going to be the big difference on the farm as I sit here today.
As we start to, kind of weigh what to expect in the year ahead, do you feel like have we resolved any of the big risks from 2021, or do most of them carry over?
I think there's a lot of risks associated with a lot of different things. How good is demand? Where has China been in regard to corn? Do they ultimately import all the corn to which they've committed? Do these strong processing margins remain intact, not only for corn, but for soybeans as well? We've got good ethanol production, good soybean crush. What happens in the outside markets? There's the Fed and the U.S. government is going to try to get away from this easy money policy. And if the outside markets get rattled and you see a big sell-off in the stocks, or some sort of phenomenal action in the currency markets, that could bleed into the grain markets as well. So there's a lot of risks. It's a lot of the same risks. I think the big one that changes, though, is the Fed's monetary policy, fiscal policy, trying to get away from that easy money policy. Do they succeed in that? I don't know, but that's a big risk, I think.
Yeah, trying to put a lid on some of this inflation. Appreciate it, Joe. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate the insight. We'll be back with more Ag Day coming up in just a minute.
For more information about Standard Grain and its services, call Joe at 312-462-4438.